Hello, welcome back to Orphan Espresso. Once again, I'm Doug.
I'm Barb.
I'm Joanne. I'm Ember.
Great, we're all here. We took the grinder apart. Now we're going to show you how to put it back together. I'm not just going to say assembly is the reverse of, I'm not going to say that. So
that would be the easy thing.
First thing to remember, now we've got it apart. We have noticed. We've oiled the bearing if we want to. We've inspected. Remember to put this back on. This is a real kind of, if you forget to put this on, you're going to have to repeat it. So top of the grind chamber goes back on like that, okay? Now we take it goes all the way down, and we just lean it in, all right? Now, I face it toward me like this. I'll turn it this way so you can see what I'm talking about. Now I have to put in my 3 cap screws.
When I assemble, I do it sideways.
Barb puts it in, does it this way.
Yeah.
I do it this way. Okay, and I forgot to mention, just get yourself something to work on so you don't have to worry about scratching the grinder or anything like that.
Carbon squares.
I'll just do it sideways. I'll take Barb's method. I'm flexible. I like to use a straight one down in here. You get it started. Once again, I have 2 angles. I'm on this angle and I'm on that angle. The reason these are angled in this way has to do with this part coming out of the molding tool properly. That's why we have the angles. So I get that one started.
And we have
now,
3
once
screws
again,
on the inside for strength.
if you're using this tool, it helps to magnetize it, which I haven't done. But you come in here and you see, this is a little fussy, but it can be done. You just make sure you don't scratch anything. Okay, see what I've done down here? I've got my double angle going on. And when you use, more professional tools, you feel kind of dorky doing this, but I'll show you. Just take it all the way down with, half turn loose. I'll go ahead and I'll put in the 3rd screw here, just to show you it can be done. You follow it in with your finger. You get it started. Make sure you don't scratch the funnel. Now I'm really kind of clumsy, but see, there it goes, not a problem. Just make sure you don't force it or strip the head or anything crazy. You shouldn't. Taking it apart the first time is going to be more of a challenge because we really do tighten those down. Now I put in my last one, wherever it went. Once again, I'll go ahead and do it with this one here so you can see that it's not impossible. There's my 4th one. This is the first one. I'll tighten this one down all the way. See, I'm already clumsy. I'm used to the other tools. Tighten that one. Reach in here. Tighten this one. You could also put a little bit of electrical shrink on this to make sure you don't scratch the funnel, which is what we do in the factory.
Pretty tough finish, though.
Okay, I'll go ahead and finish these down in here. So if you use this, if you use this tool, once again, you'll need to use your cheater in order to tighten it up all the way. So you get in here with your little, I always call this a cheater. I don't know what it's actually called. Okay, there's a cheater, okay?
You can use the brush we include as a cheater.
You could use the brush, yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, so the reverse is, on goes the cover. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Every job needs a supervisor, okay? This piece here basically supports the end and it closes off the mechanism. It's a little ABS piece. On goes the cover, okay? Now I'll pretend to insert the little screw that is
that we
stripped.
stripped a long time ago.
Once again, remember, this is a 2.5, is it, Barb?
Yes.
Okay, my 2.5 is this guy, okay? Okay, so let's just pretend that we tighten it down and didn't over-tighten it as it says in the manual. I should have read the manual before I did this,
The problem is you hadn't written the manual.
Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and put in this piece here, which screws in clockwise. And this one goes. Now, I'm ready to install the gear housing. Once again, this hole is down.
It can be put in other positions, though.
You can put it in any position. I kind of need to look at this. Okay. line up the screws. These are the longest 3. I'll come in with my little hex because I didn't go on Amazon and buy some Weehaw tools. Okay.
I love Weehaw tools.
Yeah, I like the Weehaw tools. We have had the same Weehaw. We've had the same, right, Amber?
Yeah.
You've used the same Weehaw ball driver for 2 years, 2.5 years, building Lidos.
Thousands
Yeah.
of Lidos.
Okay. See, this can be done, no problem, but I'll go back for the sake of my sanity. Okay, in they go. Now, Barb was bringing me something that I forgot to include in my little photo studio. See what I'm doing here? This is, do you see that, Joanne? Give me stage directions if you want me to move out of the way, Joanne.
Yeah, you can be bossy.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're the director. Okay? This is now installed. Barb is handing me, this is just some standard grease. So I like to put some while I'm in here because you don't take this off every day. I'll put some grease on the sun gear. This greasing that gear, it will spread it over all of the teeth of the gears. Okay? The simplest thing to do, as I said, is to leave the handle on. But I'm going to show you how to put it on without the handle, just to demonstrate why you need to be careful when you do this. This is like the total skill part.
Do you
This,
have that skill?
if I don't, I haven't been paying attention for the last 2 weeks. Okay, this is the screw. Now, this is a real tight fitting. Fits on here. While you have this out, go ahead and inspect it to make sure. This is tool steel. It's not stainless steel, it's tool steel, and it should have a thin coating of grease or oil around the surface to prevent it from rusting. If you should notice a little spot of surface rust or whatever, now I need another prop. This is
Cool.
probably the handy thing.
That's
It's
just a 3M.
yeah, this is a little scratchy pad. If you see a little surface rush, you do this, then what happened to my grease? And where you've made the raw metal, you can go ahead and you can, this is a rust preventive measure. If you should see any degradation of this piece, go ahead and remove the surface oxidation, and that'll protect it, okay? Now, without the handle on, I set it like this, right? So I'm looking at this screw. The reason is you're going to align this screw to that hole, okay? And you do this thusly. You look at it, you hold it in your hands here, all right? There's a hole, and you get it completely square with the housing. This fits very precisely.
And you may need a lot of patience to do this, since you won't be
Especially when it's new.
experienced.
This has been in and out dozens and dozens of times. But you slowly guide it down and let it just slide in. You kind of have to wiggle it back and forth. Now, it has stopped. Now I have to mesh the planet gears to the sun gear. I reach in here and wiggle the, bang. See how that happened? Okay? Once again, this is the skill job here. This is how things can go. I line up that screw hole to this back hole here, and I hold it very evenly, pay attention, and just kind of work it down. I don't know, I've never put on pantyhose, but I'm sure that it's a little bit, there are.
I'd like to see you try.
Well, I might look good in pantyhose.
I'm
Okay,
sure you'd look good.
it
in
has
pantyhose.
stopped at this point,
At
okay?
least I think
So
it was.
now,
Stop
I'm-
laughing.
I move the gears to get it. Okay, this is a good one to point out to you.
Yes.
Okay, see, it hasn't dropped all the way down. Okay, so what I do in this case,
That means that the sun gear
I s-
is not meshing with the planet.
I find,
gears.
yeah, I come back in a different spot, and once again,
That
just
different spot, you
wiggle it
turn
down.
the axle to change the position of the sun gear.
there. I just kind of wiggled around with it a little more and it fell all the way down. See how it's smooth? Okay? Now this is what I'm seeing on this side. There's the screw hole in there that's in the ring gear. That's lined up properly. If this isn't exactly in that spot, there's nothing you can do but to pull it out and start over. If you have trouble pulling it out, install the handle. The handle allows you to grab it and really manipulate it a lot. And we have to do that here at the factory. It'll kind of get jammed. We'll have to put the handle on it, especially when the gear is new. Once again, 3 millimeter. Okay.
That's the short screw.
That's the short screw. In this case, now I have to reinstall the handle, which is the simplest part of all. It goes on. This is my long bolt. You've already put the handle on once. This is the same thing the second time around. You just make sure you get it in there straight, which I'm not doing a good job doing. Let me start over here. There. That goes on. I'll use this one because that's the one that we gave you to use. And it's going to hit that, so I'll skip that and I'll go back to my other one. All right, in it goes all the way. There. It's all back together. It's clean, it's all back together, it's maintained. You've inspected the gear to make sure that you don't have any degradation of that tool steel. And I think that's about all there is to it. Remember, it's recreational. You're doing this because you enjoy doing it, so take your time. You know,
Have patience.
go to the tool store, get yourself some nice metric tools that you'll enjoy it a lot more. You have good tools for the system. These tools are adequate, but as you saw, they're a little bit clumsy, but they'll get the job done. And I think that's about it. It's all together, and I hope this really helps, and make sure you don't strip any screw heads or strip any screws, and we think that this will last well into your old age. And in my case, I'm there. Okay, so thanks a lot. I think there's one more video coming up where we're going to demonstrate how to wrap the spring the other way for left-hand use, but that's for another day. So thanks a lot.